guys. Wow, that sounds a little funny. Okay, maybe it's getting better. My name's Hadass, and I'm a mentor and confidant for women to have love, success, and a sexy lifestyle. And the way that I do that when I work with people is I help women love themselves, get real with themselves, and do the things that push their edges. Because I think when you have all three of those, you have a well-lived life. And when I was looking at the lineup for the Femme Talks that was coming up, I was trying to figure out which topic really spoke to me. And I like the idea of embracing taboo and embracing stereotype. Like something like that jumped out at me. And I knew that I was attracted to it, and I think part of it for me is because I'm attracted to the dark and the shadow and the getting real. And so tonight is really going to be about that getting real part.
Yes.
Woo! And the thing I was thinking about is I really wrestled with writing this. Like, people were like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, yeah, it's something about how we leak our power, and but I had a hard time figuring out exactly what I was going to say. And I realized that the reason for that is because I was going to have to get up here and get naked with you guys.
Yeah.
Get naked! And then I was going to ask you guys to do that at a certain point as well. So it was this idea of like, oh, can I like look pretty up here and like talk about inspiration and vision and goals and dreams, and it was like that just didn't feel like it was going to resonate at all for me, which is funny because that's usually what I want to do is I want to get up here and I want to look hot and sexy and talk about how great I am and like how great you all can be, and you can and you are. But actually, when I was thinking about embracing taboo, the first thing I was thinking about was how we all want to be big and powerful women. And I bet that there are women in the audience who want to be like a best-selling author, right? Yep. Or want to have like a personal practice of something that they're really passionate about, making an impact on people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or be like an inspirational teacher or leader for other people or other women to have what they want as well. Right? Yeah. So, me too. I love all these things. And when I was thinking about the idea of embracing taboo, I thought about the things that we don't want people to see, which is what happens when we get along the way to those goals and to those dreams and to those visions. What happens when we lose faith? What happens when we slow down? What happens when we lose vision of the thing that we actually want to do or want to accomplish? And what do we do in those moments? And who are we in those moments? Because when I think about the idea of embracing taboo, there's a very small and kind of unsexy but really important thing that happens along the way, which is that place when we actually give up. And I actually just wanted to share my story with you. And it's a very familiar story. It's been my story, it's been my friend's story, it might be your story, it might be your friend's story. And it's something that happens, I think, to all of us at one time or another. So, a long time ago, I was stuck in a kind of work that I really didn't want to be doing. I was disconnected, I felt used, I wasn't into it, like I felt like I was kind of stuck and I didn't want to be there anymore. And I was looking for something else, and I was looking for something that inspired me and that felt good. And like right away, I recognized that coaching was a part of it. Like I knew that I wanted to help people, and I knew that I wanted to like make a difference for people's lives. But I knew that there were some other pieces as well, and I got drawn into this organization that was like, come here and you can teach and you can coach and you can sell and you can be in front of people and it's going to be amazing. And it was really fun, actually. Like I got to do a lot of things and I got to find out a lot about myself. But there was also this place where I was holding out to like wait to see if the money would come in. Like, okay, and they were like, yeah, it's gonna happen like next month, and we're doing so well, and the month after that, and like in a year or 2 years, and there's a certain point where I got clear that through that specific avenue, I was never gonna get the thing that I wanted. Like, I wasn't actually gonna be able to be successful in all the aspects of my life. And the thing that ended up happening was like, okay, I'm gonna leave, and I'm gonna find my way. And for a little bit, I like went. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna build this huge thing. But I think what happened in that moment was I actually got really scared and really confronted. And it was like, oh, like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't even know what I want to do. I don't have the support of other people. Okay. And I just started to check out. And it happens like very subtly, right? It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go, watch TV now for a little bit, longer, or let me go isolate from people a little bit, or let me go and eat that extra food that I wouldn't normally do. And I just kind of sat in that hole for a while, for a long time. And I could feel like there was a piece of my soul that was missing, but I didn't want to look at it because it was just painful. And it's like, what do we do in those moments? Like, do we just shut down? And what do you do when you're in that place? So actually my thought was today, rather than like inspire and talk about the big goal, I actually wanted to share with you a process of something that's been helping me, and it's been helping my coaching clients as well. And it's about this idea of admissions. And I actually wanted to make it like a two-part exercise. I want you to spend like a couple minutes each way just talking about one thing that you did this week to lose your power and what you were avoiding when you did it. And I'll time you, and then we'll switch. Great. Nice. Oh yeah. So I just said I wanted to give a couple shares of like things that you noticed or that came up for you around that exercise. Okay, so to actually complement this, the first part, what I wanted to do was have each of you spend about, I think we'll probably only really need like about maybe 30 seconds to a minute, talking about one thing you want to do this week to get your power back. So it can be like, I'm going to go to bed early, I'm going to watch like only 2 hours of television this week instead of like 5, or it can be like, I'm going to track my food, whatever it is, like whatever your thing is, that's going to have you just get a little of that like power leakage like stopped up and start to actually get back into reclaiming your power and moving in the direction of faith and the thing that you want. So go ahead and start that.
Scheduler, which he
I know.
Yes. Yeah,
So I myself am going to have to wrap up here in a minute. But I would love to hear like 1 or 2 super hot burning shares of like the thing that you're going to do this week that you're like super proud of that's going to help like stop the power leak. Call them out. You can even just like call it out actually.
Go on a really fun date with a guy like.
Yeah.
Sign up for a Spanish class at City College.
Nice.
Practice the 4 agreements.
Oh.
Yeah, practice
Okay.
the 4 agreements.
Awesome. Okay, so I want to thank everyone here for participating and being willing to get naked and be vulnerable. I really, really appreciate all of you. And I just wanted to let you know it's been awesome being up here. This process has helped me a lot climb out of my little hole and get clear about like who am I and what do I want and how do I want to make an impact on people. So I encourage you to actually follow through with the thing that you said that you would do this week and just start to notice what starts to shift for you in your life. So, yeah.